Hello everyone, this is your first mathematics lesson at home. We're going to discuss 6.6, simplifying fractions. I want everyone to take notes because you need to do this in class as well. If we're going to have a look at what we're going to do today, is we're going to do simplifying fractions first. Afterwards, we're going to do adding and subtracting fractions. And lastly, we're going to discuss multiplying fractions. I want you all to make a little title in your notebook with simplifying fractions. First, we're going to look at numbers only. So you're going to simplify 3/6. This means that you need to make 3/6 as small as possible. If you want to make 3/6 as small as possible, you will get 1 second because you're going to divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. And you need to choose this number as big as possible. So 3 divided by 3 equals 1. And 6 divided by 3 equals 2. So that's how I got 1 second. Now we're going to look at an example with letters. So you need to simplify 3ab divided by 6a. If you are going to do this, you're going to divide 3ab by 3a. That is 1b. If you're dividing 6a by 3a, you will get 2. This is very important. Do you all remember when we were talking about the bananas? So I can say I'm eating a banana. But I'm never really talking about I'm eating one banana. And that's why you may leave the 1 out. So you get b divided by 2. And you really need to leave the 1 out. Alright, then we're going to look at adding and subtracting fractions. So please make a subtitle about adding and subtracting fractions in your notebooks. First, we're going to look at adding and subtracting fractions with numbers only. So, simplify 1/3 plus 4/5. Important is that the denominators must be the same. If they are not the same, you may not add and subtract fractions. The denominators need to be the same. So, I made it the same. But how did I do that? I multiplied the 3 by the 5. So I did 3 times 5. Then I did 1 times 5 as well. Because if what you do at the top, you need to do at the bottom as well. And what you need to do at the bottom, you need to do at the top as well. I did 5 times 3 and I did 4 times 3. And that's how I got 5, 15, 12 and 15. If you add the 5 plus 12, you will get 17. So you will get 17 divided by 15. But you need to make this smaller again, because you need to simplify everything as far as possible. So you will get 1 to 15. Alright, so now we're going to look at adding and subtracting fractions with letters. So first, again, the denominators must be the same. So I'm going to do 3 times 5b and 5b times 3. So if I multiply 3 by 5b, And then I need to do a times 5b as well, of course. If you need to do 5b times 3, you need to do 4 times 3 as well. So I get 5ab, I get 15b, I get 12, and 15b. Now the denominators are the same, so I am allowed to add the numerators. However, the numerators are non-like terms, so this means that I'm not allowed to add 5ab plus 12 because they're not the same. I may, however, put them together in one numerator because I'm dividing everything by the same kind of thing. So you will get 5ab plus 12 divided by 15b. And this is your final answer. You cannot simplify it any further. Alright, then we're going to look at multiplying fractions. So please write down in your notebooks multiplying fractions. First, we're going to look at multiplying fractions with numbers only. So I'm going to simplify 2/3 times 4/5. This is 8/15 because I may multiply the numerators and I may multiply the denominators. 2 times 4 equals 8 and 3 times 5 equals 15. I cannot simplify this any further. So 8/15 is your final answer. If we're going to look at multiplying fractions with letters, I made a different example. I made 8 divided by 3 times 4a divided by 5b. Again, you're going to multiply the numerators and you're going to multiply the denominators. The denominators do not need to be the same, so don't make them the same. Do not do that. So if I multiply 8 times 4a, I will get a squared, because remember that a times a equals a squared. That was because if I'm going to multiply 4 by 4, I could write it differently down as 4 squared. And if I was going to do 5 times 5, it was 5 squared, because it's still 25. I'm going to do at the bottom the same. So 3 times 5b, and that's 15b. I cannot simplify this any further because I cannot divide everything by a, and I cannot divide everything by b or a different number. This was the end of this lesson. I want everyone to do the exercises, and if you've got any questions, ask me.